Hey everyone, I'm Tony Moore in Rock Studio One. Today I'm going to be showing you how to factory reset the X5 wireless pendant and the base unit. We've had customers ask for help with this, so we figured why not make a video on it. We're going to show how to factory reset both these items and then get them back up and running so they're communicating and have a program running on the pendant. Reasons for this might be you might forget the passwords you have set up in these, or you screw up some setting, or maybe you got handed this equipment, someone else already worked on it, you don't know how they change the settings, you just want to get it back to the regular base settings. A lot of good reasons to factory reset one of these. Maybe you don't know what the IP addresses are on the Ethernet port, so you can't access it. There's a lot of reasons to do this. So obviously you're going to need your X5 wireless pendant, your X5 wireless base, and a USB flash drive. This is a 3.0. Not sure exactly if that's required versus a lower one like a 2.0, but I just stick to 3.0 because I know this works. Obviously you need a computer with the Ethernet port, and you're going to need JMobile Studio 4.5. Access the internet, and a internet browser. I use Google Chrome. It worked fine with others. It's just the screens I'm going to show you are going to be with Google Chrome, so if you want to follow the exact steps I do, I'd recommend using that. Okay, so we have a few files to download from the internet. So I've got these links pulled up on my computer. In order to save you the time of typing these out, we're going to put them in the video description. So let's start with the first files we're going to need. EXOR puts these on OneDrive for our usage. So download this file. We're going to want to unzip it. And then copy all these files over to our drive here, USB drive. Okay, so we got a few more files for later on. Let's do these now, so we have them when we need them. These are going to be for the pendant. This one we don't need to unzip, device publisher. So this last file we actually need to generate ourselves in JMobile Studio. So go ahead and open JMobile Studio 4.5. You need to create a project, or maybe you have an existing project for the X5 wireless. In this case, I downloaded the demo from the JMobile website. Then you're going to want to go to Run and Update Package. Click on HMI Client and then choose a location where you want to download or create this file at. And then just hit create and give it a minute, and you'll have the last file you need to do this. These links might change. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. So just in case these links are broken, you can go to exorint.com/en/support. We'll have that link in the video description as well. So if you go there, the screen pops up, and then look for the email address for the area you're in, and you can email EXOR to get a new link for all these files in case these links are broken. Okay, so now we're gonna get to factory resetting our X5 wireless base unit. You should have the autoexec.sh file and the recovery file on your flash drive. Now you can go ahead and eject your flash drive from your computer, and now there is this USB slot right on the top of this X5 wireless base. That's the only one that's on here, so should be obvious here. So you just stick that in while it's already powered up. You wait for 2 beeps followed by 1 beep. And then in a few more minutes, you'll hear another 2 beeps followed by 1 beep, and then you'll know you're done and ready to pull out this flash drive. Boy, it'd be really awkward if you left this whole thing in. It'd be kind of funny though. Alright, now it's factory reset. Pull the flash drive out of this unit. I'm going to pull the plug on our power supply, wait 30 seconds, and then we'll power it back up again. Okay, let's power our factory reset device back on. Now, you're going to want to plug your Ethernet cable into port Ethernet 1. So if you look at this device, there's the black side of this base unit, and the port is the one closest to the black side. It's got a default IP address upon factory reset of 192.168.0.1. So you're going to want to set up your Ethernet port so that it's compatible with that IP address. So let's go to change adapter options. Now, of course, depending on your computer, this might look a little bit different, which port you're selecting here. So go to properties, IPv4, and make sure your IP address is 192.168.0 and anything between 1 and 255 except for 1. So we'll do 200. Make your subnet 255.255.255.0. Now that you have your IP address set in your network adapter, you're going to want to open the command line. So just go to your run menu and type in CMD. Now type in ping 192.168.0.1. Perfect. We can see it's pinging and it's replying. That means we're connected to the base unit. Okay, now we're going to go to our web browser. Type in 192.168.0.1. And it's asking for a sign-in. The default is admin and admin. So it's going to ask us for some passwords for the user and admin. This only comes up when you first factory reset this device. So this could be one of the reasons you might want to factory reset the device if you don't know these passwords. This gives you the opportunity to set them however you want. EXOR says the default password they use is admin123$ with a capital A. So I'm going to use that. So admin123$. So let's hit change password. Successfully changed. Now we need to put our admin password. I use the same thing. Admin123 with a capital A. Oh, and a $. But it could be whatever you choose as long as it meets those requirements. So now this base is going to reboot again now that we set the passwords. What I like to do is open up my command line, put in the ping 192.168.0.1, and then you put in -sign lowercase t. And then just wait for it to ping again. Once it replies, we know it's back up and running and we can continue with this setup. There we go. So now it's pinging and we are ready to continue. So let's stop the pinging. Now we can just put the IP address back into our web browser. So now it's going to ask for username and password. That would be the username of admin, or the password would be the one you entered in the previous step we did. In my case, I put in admin123$ with a capital A. So now we're into our system settings. So the first thing that pops up immediately is the localization settings. You need to set the country code first thing. So I'm gonna scroll down here. I'm in the United States, so I'm gonna pick US right there. So we set our date code. Now we need to get our network up and running. So we go to network, hit edit, go into wireless networking, see where it says enabled, and this bar is to the left and it's white. You want to hit this, and now this turns blue. This little circle goes to the right. Give it a minute to think. So now we have Wi-Fi enabled and our safety Wi-Fi network enabled. Now we can set a password. You don't have to do this, but just for fun, I'm going to set it to be admin123$ with a capital A, just like everything else. Now you want to hit save. Now it says operation successful. Now we need to go back to JMobile Studio, go to run, and then manage target, and then go right here where it says install runtime, and it will load some files onto this X5 wireless space. Now we just gotta wait for it to load. Now it's asking for a password. We set up admin123$. Okay, after we finish installing the runtime, you need to wait for the 2 beeps and then the 1 beep for this device to restart. Now we can go to run, download to target. This is going to download our active program into this space unit. In this case, it's going to be the JMobile demo file. Now hit download. You gotta enter in your password again. Admin123$ with a capital A, or whatever you set your password to. Okay, now our program is installed on our X5 wireless base. This base unit is actually all ready to go and fully configured to run. If you didn't need to factory reset your pendant, you could actually get up and running right now, but we're going to show you next how to factory reset the pendant and get that up and running as well. Okay, now we're going to start the factory reset process for X5 wireless pendant. We take the flash drive. The files we use to factory reset this base unit are going to be the same files we use to factory reset the pendant, so no need to move or change the files on your flash drive. Just as a reminder, you can find these files at this first link we're going to have on the video description. So I'll show you it again. This tiny URL link brings you to this SharePoint files right here, and you want to download and unzip your zip file and put it on your flash drive. So the first step to factory resetting the wireless pendant is to turn it on. So you want to hold F2 and F5 buttons. You get the red light, that means it's starting to boot up. Now we're going to wait for it to turn green and for it to finish loading. Now that our device is booted up, pull this little rubber cover off the USB drive and stick your USB drive in the top, and now it will go into boot mode. So now it says rebooting at the top in blue. That lets you know it's factory resetting itself. So now it says at the top, restoring factory defaults, and we're just going to give it a few minutes here. Okay, now that it's rebooting, we pull our flash drive out when it's the red light. And now it should come up with its default setup. Yep, and we can see it says configuring settings. It's doing its initial boot here. So this is the default screen that will come on all of the newer EXOR HMIs. Once we get all the files in here and get this up and running, you're never going to see this screen again. So we're going to go to System Settings. And this is going to look very similar to the one you saw on the web browser earlier in this video. So we need to set up a password for user. Once again, I'm going to use the same password I used throughout this video, admin with a capital A. We need to type it into both fields, new password and confirm password. Now hit change password. Hit OK. Now you're going to do the same thing for admin password. We're going to use the same password we used throughout this video. Admin123 with a capital A. Hit change password. Now our Pendant is going to reboot again. Now that our Pendant has rebooted, we're going to enter in a few more settings. So go into System Settings. Going to have to enter your password again. So username is admin, all lowercase. Password is, we set it to be admin123 with a capital A. Hit OK. Now that we're into system settings, first we need to set our country code. Language is already set to English, that's fine. So you click here where it says unspecified. I like to use the search bar at the top because there's a lot of different countries in here. Since I'm in the United States, I'm going to type in United, and there it pops up. So we selected United States, and we select, and English was already selected. Now we can set up our wireless network. So go into network, hit the little edit icon at the top, scroll down to wireless networking. Now we want to enable the wireless interface. Give it a minute to think. Now that it enabled, now we enable the safety Wi-Fi network. Hit the check mark at the top. Give it a minute to think. Now it says operation successful. Now we're done with this settings page. Hit the little house at the corner to get out of here. Scroll down to exit. Now we're going to load a few more files onto this Pendant. So plug your USB drive back into your computer. And first you need to delete the factory reset files that you already have on here right now. If you don't delete these, it's just going to go back into factory reset every time. Alright, so I deleted those files from my flash drive. Just a recap, the second batch of files that we downloaded, it's the second link on our video description. So you'll be downloading the device publisher.zip, And we also generated update package.zip via JMobile Studio. So now that we have both those files, device publisher and update package, we need to copy both of those onto our flash drive. Now we need to eject our flash drive. Now we need to go back to our wireless pendant. So take your flash drive, insert it into the little USB slot on the top. Now we go into startup sequence. Now we need to log in again. Username is admin. Password is admin 123 $ with a capital A. Hit OK. Now there's these two areas, installed apps and boot sequences. So go into this little button at the bottom left that says install. Click that. Scroll down to MNT. Click that. Scroll down to USB memory. Click that. Now select device publisher.zip. Now that we selected device publisher.zip, hit OK in the bottom left. Now it's going to install this file on the pendant. So now we can see device publisher is populated under the boot sequence, and our pendant is going to reboot. Okay, our pendant has rebooted. Brings us right to the pairing screen. You're going to want to hit exit in the bottom right. Now go back to startup sequence button. Now we're going to need to log in again. Username is admin. And our password is admin with a capital A, 123 $. Hit OK. Now we need to hit install on the bottom left. Scroll down to MNT. Scroll down to USB memory. Select update package.zip and then hit OK in the bottom left corner. Now it's going to install this file. Going to have to give it a minute to reboot again. So now it brings back this screen again. We select HMI client right here and then hit this little arrow to the right, and that brings HMI client over to boot sequence. Now hit done at the bottom right, and now we hit start HMI. So now we need to enter our password again. In our case, it's admin with a capital A, 123 $. So now it brings up a new settings menu. You've never seen this one before. So now we need to type in our server address on these wireless pendants. This is 172.27.72.1. Hit close and then select auto connect at startup, and now hit OK. That's fine. We haven't paired it yet, so it won't be able to connect yet. Now our wireless pendant is ready to pair with the base unit. So we need to press K1 and K4. Hit this little plus sign at the bottom. Now we need to type in our base station user ID. So we're going to be typing in on the gray side of these base units, it says safety UID and then the code right here. So we're going to be putting that in on this wireless pendant right here. They put it upside down just for fun. So let's type that in. 294100 BC 6395. 6395. Close. We put in the password here of admin 123 $sign with a capital A. You can put in a base station description. You don't have to, but let's just do it for fun. We'll call this base 1. Hit save. And now you select base 1 and go through your pairing procedure. Please reference our other video on the X5 wireless unit where we go in depth on how to pair these units. Now that we've paired our pendant with our base, we just need to go back into the settings one more time. So we're going to enter in our password, admin 123 $sign, hit OK. Now we don't need to touch any of these settings, but we had to go back into this, so just hit OK. Now it brings up this enter username and password. In this case, it's going to be different than everywhere else in this video. We're going to type in username and password both as admin with no caps or any other symbols. Admin and admin, all lowercase. Now hit OK. And the program loaded into your base will boot up. In this case, it is our JMobile demo. And now that we've ran through all these settings, in the future, every time you repair your base with your pendant, it will automatically boot into this or whatever else you have loaded onto your base. So just approve. Hey, it's working. Wonderful. We're done now. I hope this saves you guys a little bit of time and you guys are able to get your system up and running. Please let us know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you for your time.